precisely 6:15. This is the news on Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News is edited by Anjana Dodamgoda, read by Sabrina Zawahir. The headlines. Appeal applications for Grade 6 admission begin today via online. Sri Lanka records highest energy demand in recent times. Gazette notification issued declaring maximum retail price for eggs. Government takes steps to increase the amount of relief given to farmers. Japan must lead efforts to expedite Sri Lanka's debt restructuring. And in world news, at least 78 killed in Yemen stampede during Ramadan charity event. And in sports, Johan Fernando and the team does Maristella proud. Now the local news in detail. Based on the 2022 scholarship examination results for Grade 5, the Education Ministry has decided to start calling for appeal applications for Grade 6 for the year 2023 via online as of today. Accordingly, the applications will be accepted via the online system from noon today till noon on May 8th. Applications can be downloaded from the Education Ministry's official website, that's g6application.moe.gov.lk. Moreover, the ministry said that the document with the school census number related to the school application can be obtained by visiting the website www.moe.gov.lk. Sri Lanka's highest energy demand in recent times was recorded yesterday, as per the statement made by Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara. Making a statement to Twitter today, the minister noted that a net generation of 49.53 gigawatt hours was recorded, and for power generation yesterday, making this the highest demand for energy since of late in Sri Lanka. Meanwhile, he noted that as per the actual demand recorded earlier this morning, forecasts for an estimated energy demand exceeding 50 gigawatt hours was made for today. Thus, the minister assured that all Ceylon Electricity Board thermal plants, including the recently established Hambantota diesel-powered generators, will be utilized for power generation. An extraordinary Gazette notification has been issued declaring maximum retail price for eggs. Chairman of the Consumer Affairs Authority, Shantani Rialla, has issued the relevant Gazette notification with effect from today. Accordingly, the maximum retail price of a white egg has been set at 44 rupees and a brown egg at 46 rupees. Also, the maximum retail price for a kilogram of white eggs has been set at 880 rupees and the maximum retail price for a kilogram of brown eggs has been set at 920 rupees. Consumer Affairs Authority orders that no manufacturer, producer, supplier, distributor or trader shall sell, supply, expose or offer for sale, display for sale the listed of variety of eggs exceeding the maximum retail price. This news is brought to you by Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing local news, Minister of Agriculture Mahinda Amaravira says that the government has taken the necessary steps to increase the amount of relief given to farmers to increase the cultivation of food crops in the country. The minister said this while attending the national tree planting ceremony, which is the last auspicious ritual of the 2023 Sinhala and Tamil New Year celebrations today at Angunakola Palace Agricultural Service Centre. Minister of Agriculture Mahinda Amaravira planted a lime plant at the auspicious time of 6:38 am today, and simultaneously Secretary of the Agriculture Ministry Gunadasa Samarasinghe, Commissioner General of Agricultural Services HML Aberatna and a group of officials planted fruit trees. The Ministry of Agriculture had made arrangements to celebrate the auspicious day of planting this year under the theme Plant a Plant That Gives Fruit. In addition to planting saplings, the minister also distributed saplings to the people gathered at the event, and the two state-owned fertilizer companies, Colombo Commercial Company and Lanka Fertilizer Company, distributed the mixed fertilizers required for fruit saplings among the farmers. Debt held by emerging and developing countries are ballooning. In addition to smoldering financial instability in Europe and the United States, the debt issue has become a flashpoint for the global economy. Talks for support measures to prevent the crisis from spreading must be hastened. The Japanese government, jointly with India and France, has launched a common platform for talks among creditor nations to resolve the debt problem of Sri Lanka, a country that has fallen into an economic crisis. The initiative was announced on the sidelines of a meeting of finance ministries and central bank governors of the group of 20 major economies in Washington. China, the largest creditor nation to Sri Lanka, will reportedly also be invited to participate in the initiative. That ends local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Commemorating the 4th year anniversary of the Easter Sunday attacks will be held tomorrow. Various churches island-wide will be having special services and silent protests. Cardinal Malcolm Ranjith has requested the Catholic devotees to engage in a silent protest in selected locations in the Western Province from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. tomorrow. The Cardinal emphasized the human chain was formed to demand justice and to strengthen the laws in order to prevent such incidents from occurring again. The protests are to be held alongside the Colombo-Negombo Main Road, Gold Road from Dehiwala to Moratua, or from Kalutara to Beruwala. During this time, there will be a 2-minute silence at 8:45 a.m., the exact time the attack happened. The Easter Sunday attacks that included the churches in Kochikade and Katuwapitia and hotels claimed the lives of 272 people and about 500 were left injured. That was main news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight, the Department of Met has issued what is being termed as a heat index advisory for several parts of the country continuously for more than a week. The Met Department said the heat index, the temperature felt on human body, is expected to increase up to caution level at some places in the eastern, northern, northwestern and north central provinces and in the Munaragala and Hambantota districts today. The heat index forecast is calculated by using relative humidity and maximum temperature and is the condition that is felt on an individual's body. According to the index prepared on the advice of the Ministry of Health and Indigenous Medical Services, the caution level means fatigue is possible with prolonged exposure and activities and could also result in heat cramps. The Met Department accordingly has advised the public to stay hydrated and take breaks in the shade as often as possible if working at job sites, limit strenuous outdoor activities, observe the elderly and sick, to refrain from leaving children unattended in vehicles, and also wear lightweight and white or light-colored clothing. That came to you in Watchlight. Moving on to world news. Taking a look at the headlines of the world news. At least 78 killed in Yemen stampede during Ramadan charity event. India moving towards creating rocket force defense services to acquire around 250 more Prelay ballistic missiles. Thousands flock to remote Australian town for a rare celestial event. Now the world news in detail. Dozens of people were killed in a crowd surge in Yemen's capital on Wednesday as needy residents in the war-torn nation flocked to receive charity handouts from local merchants during the holy month of Ramadan, officials have confirmed. According to CNN, a video of the tragedy in Sana'a showed a chaotic scene with dozens of people packed tightly together, unable to move and shouting for help. Those trapped form a tangled wall of bodies with some desperately stretching out their arms for help. A couple of men who were freed could then be seen attempting to pull others out of the deadly crush. Images from the aftermath showed shoes and slippers heaped into piles as well as scarves strewn on the floor. In a giant leap towards creating a strong rocket force, Indian armed forces are set to place orders for 2 more units of Pralay ballistic missiles. The Pralay missiles will be acquired at cost of over 7,500,000 Indian rupees. The move comes after the Defence Ministry in December last year cleared 1 unit of these missiles for the Indian Air Force. The Pralay ballistic missiles can take out targets at 150 to 500 kilometers per second and are extremely difficult to intercept for the enemy. The missile has been developed by the Defence Research and Development Organization. The officials are working to increase the range of these missiles by another few hundred kilometers to give a stronger capability to force. A rare solar eclipse has thrilled thousands of people who flock to a remote Australian town for the best vantage point on Earth to watch it. The sky over Exmouth in Western Australia turned dark for about 60 seconds on Thursday when the moon cast a 40-kilometre wide shadow over the area. The total solar eclipse was part of a rare hybrid eclipse which occurs only a handful of times per century. Partial eclipses were also visible across other parts of the Asia-Pacific. This eclipse began in the Indian Ocean at sunrise and ends at sunset in the Pacific, with observers at different points in the path of the eclipse able to see it different or hybrid phases. That was World News, and prior to concluding World News, let's take a look at the headlines once again. At least 78 killed in Yemen stampede during Ramadan charity event. India moving towards creating rocket force defense services to acquire around 250 more Pralay ballistic missiles. Thousands flocked to remote Australian town for a rare celestic event. That ends World News.
Development News.
In a bid to encourage manufacturing industries, the government has decided to gradually relax non-custom levies imposed on imports to facilitate local and international trade, whilst introducing key reforms to enhance external trade. The Cabinet of Ministries cleared a proposal to submit the draft regulations under Ports and Airport Development Levy Act No. 18 of 2011 to the Parliament. The move was a 2023 budget proposal to gradually remove other taxes imposed on imports that are not customs levies, such as the Ports and Airport Development Levy and the levy imposed under the Trade Goods Export Concessionary Scheme, to support and facilitate promotion of the manufacturing industry and to remove barriers for international trade and local industries such as agriculture and projects. That was Development News. Moving on to Sports News. 17-year-old Johan Fernando of Maristella College, Timrigas Kotua, when he finished 2022-23 season with 1,002 runs from 17 matches, became the second student from Maristella College to accomplish this feat in the same season after his skipper, Samindu Pereira, who finished with 1,228. These young cricketers immensely helped their alma mater become runners-up of Under-19 Division 3 tier, a 2-day championship, gaining a second division for the first time in their cricketing history. That was Sports News.
Go ekaktiana youth ekat life eke change ekat niyamata set wenna as wahagena dakapu hina habe karanna youth ekat niyamata set wenna friendship එක menna.
The all-new NSB Ithumitru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
SDB Bank recently relocated its flagship City branch to a new facility at Union Place, Colombo 2. The new branch was officially declared open on the 19th of April 2023 amidst a grand opening ceremony graced by the chairperson Diniti Ratnayaka and SDB Bank CEO Priyantha Talwata, members of the senior management, SDB Bank customers, prominent business leaders and individuals. The relocation of the SDB Bank City branch is a strategic move by the bank's management to mark a stronger presence in a key geographical area with a standout facility equipped with improved facilities, including ample parking facilities, ATM facilities, etc. That was Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Go එකක් තියන youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගින හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Economic news, courtesy of...
For the 5th consecutive year, LOLC is awarded People's Financial Services Brand of the Year at the 2022 Slim Kantar People's Awards. As the People's Financial Services Brand of the Year, LOLC continues to place the customer first. And this has won the hearts, minds and trust of Sri Lankans, with yet another prestigious award as proof of this lasting commitment. LOLC. Imagine the possibilities.
Both because of Sri Lanka expanded in March 2023, the central bank's Purchasing Managers Index survey released Wednesday showed manufacturing PMI turned positive in March 2023 after 9 consecutive survey rounds, recording an index value of 51.4, the central bank noted. This month-on-month expansion was driven by the increase in new orders and productions and sub-indices, mainly due to the seasonal demand. However, employment, stock of purchasers and suppliers' delivery time remained below the natural threshold. The increase in new orders and production was mainly driven by the manufacture of food and beverages sector, where many respondents mentioned that they experienced a relatively higher demand compared to previous months to cater for the upcoming festive season. That was Economic News.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 goals at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall Gold Award, whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking.
Weather Report.
Finally, we take a look at the weather report. The Met Department says showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in western, Sabaragamuwa, central, northwestern and north-central provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts during the afternoon or night. That was the weather report. Prior to concluding this bulletin of news, the headlines once again. Appeal applications for grade 6 admission begin today via online. Sri Lanka records highest energy demand in recent times. Gazette notification issued declaring maximum retail price for eggs. Government takes steps to increase the amount of relief given to farmers. Japan must lead efforts to expedite Sri Lanka's debt restructuring. With that, we conclude the news.